politics should not have been doing anything with religion. So we wanted a secular state. We were under martial law for most of the Pakistani days. So people wanted here to have a state which will be representative democracy. And economically, that there was a disparity theory. So people fought for an egalitarian economy. So these are the three principles. At the political level, a democratic state with the representative democracy, the nature of which will be secular. At the economic level, a kind of egalitarian democracy, because all the people of the country should be benefited out of the state's ventures, all the economic activities taking place in this part of the world. And at the cultural level, the emancipation of the individual human being as sovereign creative entity, for which all the obscurantist thoughts must be done away with, particularly as regards the relationship with the state. That has not been realized thanks to the obscurantism of the ruling class, thanks to the greed and capitalism to the corporate capitalism, and of course thanks to their colonized mindset that we discussed earlier. So it remains a big political fight, cultural fight, at the theoretical level and at the practical level, for realizing the dreams of those who sacrificed their life for an independent nation state to be set up here.
How long do you think that you will go on saying that you have this old mindset, we have to change?
That's the most important question that the whole nation here in Bangladesh and millions of people in South Asia is faced with now. Chanting slogans that we have to change for billion times will not bring in changes. For that, we particularly the democratically oriented intelligentsia has to work hard and perpetually, because until and unless you can create a counter hegemony of the culture of our politics, content of our politics, until and unless you can convince through the media, through the educational curriculum, through the political activism, through the judicial activism, that the existing political culture, existing economic policies will not serve the purpose of the people. Until and unless this is the opinion of the majority of the people, this will not change. So it remains a perpetual responsibility for the right-thinking, democratically oriented sections of the society. One of the biggest success of the ruling elites of South Asia is they have been able to reduce the definition of democracy to the extent that mere electoral transfer of power is democracy. That's the success of the undemocratic elite. The question is, to me and to many of my friends in South Asia living in different parts of South Asian capitals, democracy is a way of life, and any way of life as a political system has to have political, economic and cultural manifestations in the life of the people at large. For a society to be really democratic, people of any color, of any religion, of any caste has to have equal rights at the family, at the society and at the state level. So some of the countries we have our democracy coming and going with the regular intervention of military or quasi-military forces, and some of the societies have never been exposed to military rule, for example India. But I'm the last person to believe that just electoral transfer of power is democracy. In India, for example, below 50% of the total population, given their population size, which is very huge, still live below the subsistence level. Caste system is still in this psyche of Indian people, and under that circumstances, you see, when people are committing suicide in the face of the pressure that they cannot give the loan back to the banks. At the same time, Indian elite giving a slogan, say, Shining India, striking nuclear deals with Samaritans. This policy does not reflect on the Indian ruling elites' commitment to their own people. Same is the case with Pakistan. They are boasting of a nuclear plant, but at the same time, their people are not educated enough. They're malnourished people, and they are playing in the hands of Americans to help their masters in Washington. They have exposed their own country to the threat of disintegration. Nepal, you see, the Nepalese people have been fighting against a monarchy, and they have well undergone a tremendous political changes in just a few months ago. But people are still poor, and the gap between the disparity between the poor and the rich is huge. So they have their own challenges to become democratic in the sense in terms of equal rights of the people, equal opportunities of the people. You see, Maldives is a country where this constitution still says that a woman cannot even contest for positions like president, chief justice, speaker. So they are constitutionally, they do not accept the equal rights of the men and women citizens. And Sri Lanka has been exposed to war for so many years. We have there is still no sign for a political solution, political approach to the problem. And whenever you have a war, general people are the biggest casualty. So we have a South Asia, the South Asia which is not the one that people need, not the one that democratically oriented people dream of. So to have a democratic South Asia, we have to have a fight against the ruling political establishments across South Asia for ensuring genuine, equal political, economic and cultural rights of the citizens, rich and poor, fight at the political level, fight at the cultural level, and thus creating the hegemony of these thoughts over the ruling hegemony of the ruling elites, those who have been able to reduce the definition of democracy to just mere transfer of power through elections.
It's just the general elections are not only the answer.
Election is a means. Election is not ends for any democratic society, because for a democratic society, ends is equality of people, equality of men and women, equality of races, and equal opportunities of all the citizens belonging to any faith, any caste, any race. That's the most important thing. If you don't have an equal rights and equal opportunity to national resources and the state, you don't have democracy. That there are two common grounds. Those ruling elites who have deprived the people, millions of people in this region, and have been depriving them of that equal opportunities, political, economic and cultural. You will see that they have their own official negotiations, own official relations among them. The governments of South Asia have always been in good terms. They have used, public perceptions or created public perceptions as if that there are conflicts of serious national interests, so they are not at good terms. But that's a make-believe. The ruling elites of South Asia have always been on good terms. In the same manner, there are a lot of networks these days in South Asia among journalists, among intelligentsia, among these peasant movements, among feminists, among writers. They believe that their interest is common. Rights groups, they believe their interest is common, and they believe that there should be a regional approach to fight the regional power elites. So that's already there. Which is important is to expand those ties, more exchanges of views, more people-to-people relation. Whenever it happens, you will see that people can understand that they are the interest of South Asian peoples are mostly common, because most South Asian people are poor, most South Asian people are victims of corporate capitalism, uh, colonialism, and exploitation of the ruling elite.
We in TV South Asia are like trying to promote. So, can you briefly say a few words about the media's role, and then if you have something to say to the viewers in South Asia?
Well, there are two things. One is, media is not an innocent thing. Media people should be very careful to take a message from media. The media, you have pro-people media, you have anti-people media. So, media, journalists, you have anti-people journalists, you have pro-people journalists. You have among journalists, among writers, among artists. There are people whose works serve the interest of the rulers who have been depriving their own people for ages. So, and among journalists, there are journalists and writers who finds their interest, intellectual interest, economic interest, political interest, and cultural interest is related to those of people. So, the readers and viewers always should keep it in mind that there are pro-people media and anti-people media. That's one thing. And I must thank you that South Asia Television, and this is a very unfortunate thing, the South Asia Television has not been allowed to be aired in Dhaka. That's a shame for any Bangladeshis, because the South Asian approach, the idea of SAARC was mooted from Bangladesh. So it was only natural that whenever any South Asian initiatives, that be it in media, be it in the agriculture, in economy, among writers, that should have been praised and advanced by people in Dhaka. The responsibility, I must say, and Bangladesh has rather added obligation to support any South Asian initiative, and TV South Asia is a South Asian initiative. We think we have to do something about it. Doing meaning we have to resist, we have to protest, and we have to wrestle out this right to be for the South Asian television to be aired across South Asia.
Anything for the viewers that you want to say?
Once again, all my best wishes for them. Life is a struggle for at this phase of history. Life is a struggle for democracy, democratic rights, and rights has to be wrestled out from those who want to deprive millions of people of their inalienable rights, like right to education, right to food, right to health, and human rights in general.
Mr. Kabir, thank you so much. We really enjoyed talking to you. I'm sure the viewers will also enjoy listening and watching what you said today about your own vision, your newspaper, and South Asia in general. Thank you so much. Well, viewers, that was Mr. Nurul Kabir, the editor of New Age, one of the largest circulated English dailies in Bangladesh. Thank you for watching, and don't go away. Stay with us.